So what are, like, think back, what are some kind of classic examples of things we learned testing a prototype, and maybe something that was surprising that we learned that we didn't expect to learn?
We have worked on so many different products, but this is really where your biases and your presumptions or assumptions about how something's going to work can be a cold splash of water sometimes. To sometimes, like, an example of like a survey based method. I mentioned in the prior podcast that sometimes we use storyboards to test, and we're really trying to gauge value to a prospective user and the likelihood of that the likelihood of that feature to satisfy. And you can learn two things. Certain features are going to test really highly and are highly in demand, and users are giving you green lights, big thumbs up. Like, if you build that, I will use it and I will pay for it. Super valuable, and the kind of thing that you typically want to hear. But equally valuable is, I don't want that. I don't see any value in that. Or, what can we drop out of the list?
Right.
Because the features that we can either make secondary or move further back in a release plan can have significant impact for the team. So knowing what to include and what to exclude is equally valuable. And we've gotten that. Sometimes a quantitative survey, there's certain methods that you can use that really reveal those kinds of feature priority preferences. You can also sometimes use those to reveal differences in segments. We worked on a product that actually was a therapy product not too long ago, that we wanted to understand differences along generational lines. And even just the whole idea of using a technology to connect you to your care team that was going to monitor you in your home. People had very different attitudes about that, just based on generational lines. And so a survey will start to reveal that, and you could do comparative. Because you're using some quantitative methods, you can score, you can compare between brackets. You could start to see differences, along gender lines or income lines or education lines, or you could slice up your data. On the qualitative side, an example I'd like to we just learned so much in these discussions. It's like, we have a proposed solution and we sit down. We worked on a legal tool that was software that would help a patent lawyer prepare a case by researching patents. And there was some very smart technology on the search and kind of natural language processing side of it. But where we got great feedback was, how does an attorney stitch that work into their day-to-day workflow? And we just learned so much in being able to take our prototypes, sit with the attorneys in different practices, different size law firms, and find out that, where they wanted to control the results of their searches. Like, I don't want to show my client everything. I want to show them the things that are most relevant. So I need an ability to collect all the results for myself and then segment part of that for what I want to share with the client. And those kinds of insights have huge impact on whether or not we need to prioritize something in the first release of the software.